I'm not sorry. It's probably not going to it's probably not going to stop. I might try to...
And also, he shouldn't be sorry, because this is clearly something that he believes in. He says it because he thinks it's right. It's his opinion. And to say he's sorry for something is lying to yourself. So I don't think that you need to apologize for something. His take is pretty clear on this. If you cross a border illegally, no matter if you bring a lot of children with you, the police and the border patrol needs to stop you. It can't be like just because you're holding a baby up that you go like, oh yeah, all right, nah. Then why don't every army soldier cover themselves up with babies and puppies and kittens and everything that is cute that you cannot, like, shouldn't be in harm's way? Can you imagine? So you basically, just because there's a bunch of kids, it means you can do whatever the fuck you want. You could be 60,000 people crossing the border illegally. It doesn't matter. There are children present, and that's it. Anyways, a hot take, right, of the week. And yeah, maybe he put it a little bit controversial, and it sounds terrible when you put it like that. Obviously, I agree. Like, chat, we talked about this, right? Women and children needs protecting. That's why I got so angry with the men leaving them and trying to cross over and make a better life for themselves, but leaving the children and women behind. Because I come from a world where you need to protect the children and you need to save the women, and the men will sacrifice their lives to make sure that their offsprings and their spouses keep on living. It's never been a doubt in my mind. This is how I grew up. It's a gentleman kind of world where you guys have always saved us and looked after us. And if I see men running away like fucking cowards, then they deserve to be shot down. And let's face it, there were no kids around. These were all grown-up men crossing the border. So I don't even understand why we're talking about children. But you lose the argument when it comes to war, and just because there's a line of children right in the front row doesn't mean that, no, now we can't defend or attack anymore. Like, what the fuck? This is so retarded. Take the children away from there. Protect the children. But you can't just, like, counter and or let it all go and go like, yeah, okay, 60,000 people can come in here just because they brought a few kids along.
There are definitely criticisms people have of me that are
let's
valid,
listen to this.
Where, like, I probably do dial it up a little bit too much, and maybe I could use different rhetoric, etc. But I want to let you know that
Since
I apologize
he got
for nothing.
banned from
I meant
Twitch.
exactly what I said, and I think that these borders should be defended with lethal force whenever it's...
Wait, does that mean I'm going to get banned too? Because I kind of said similar now?
being invaded by 40 to 60,000 people at the same time. That's an incredibly dangerous thing for all the people that live in that country, and I don't think that a government has an obligation to allow a bunch of invaders to pour over and potentially kill their own citizens. I find this to just be horrible, and ultimately it should be stopped. I think that I really do have the most moral and ethical position on this, because the moment that you create an incentive, you also drive a behavior. And in my opinion, if you don't capitulate to this emotional blackmail, you also don't allow these people to target and victimize these children by using them as baggage and effectively shock troopers in order to accomplish a goal.
That's it, though. He's specifically talking about defending a border. This is what we fought wars over. And now we're just supposed to not do that anymore? Protect our borderlines? Just because a bunch of people say, like, no.
I don't think...
Because imagine, chat. You live in a country and then 200,000 children are crossing over. What are you going to do? Let's say 1 million children come over. What are you going to do? You're going to take them all in? Because they're children? Are they your responsibility? They're not your children. I don't see how... that's it. People are caught up with this whole children thing, but there were not even children in Ceuta. There were not. We watched the Shirley video. We saw the men and young teenage adults that crossed over. It wasn't like 4 or 5 year old kids, like women and children. It wasn't. There was no women and there were no baby kids. They were just grown men and adult teenage boys, right? Like grown up dudes.
That I said anything wrong. I think that a lot of people actually would agree with me, and I think that the way that we've taken military action in the past, things like, for example, World War II, would indicate that actually this is not as much an objective reality that some people would make it out to be. And again, these...
And honestly, Chad, what do you think the US did when the Hitlerjugend rocked up? Because Germany ran out of soldiers. At the end of the World War II, we have lost so many men in battle that Hitler started recruiting kids. And they weren't older than 4 or 5 years old. And Vietnam did the same in the Viet Cong. Like the Vietnam War, the Viet Cong used kids. And obviously, as a soldier, you stand there and you're just like, oh no, what are you going to do?
The same people that have no problem using children as props and having them, you know, like groomed by adults, you know, about their gender, taking them to ICE protests, putting them directly in danger because there are rioters and criminals and violence there. Who would ever bring a kid there?
How many countries in Africa are still recruiting young boys, not older than 4 or 5 years old, teaching them to use an automatic weapon and then go out? And what are you going to do? Don't you have the right to defend yourself and your borders just because your enemy is attacking with a younger force? It is protecting your own and protecting your own people and your borders, and it is very, very important. And I don't care who rocks up. If it's a bunch of puppies, it doesn't matter.
And these are the same people that are saying that I'm wrong for saying that creating an incentive for people to human traffic children and use them as human shields is a bad thing. And so I apologize for absolutely nothing. I said it in a very abrasive way, and I'm going to continue communicating that way. It's how I was raised. That's the way I communicate, and that's the way I think. And I'm not sorry. And I understand that sometimes
and you shouldn't be sorry.
Language. Sometimes I communicate in a...
Maybe he comes across a bit harsh. Maybe he says it too direct. Asmongold is very intelligent in how he lays out his statements and how he approaches these topics. And maybe people get it wrong. My father was the same. He was very upfront and direct. And people always assumed that my father was this grumpy man just because he went straight to the point. He didn't like me yap for hours and then try and break it down sweetly. He would tell you straight away what the problem is and how you should sort it. And yeah, Hobby is the same. And Hobby, you get this a lot. Remember when we used to have the guild and everyone just like, I'm too afraid to talk to Hobby. He comes across like such a brute. And I'm just like, no, he's the sweetest guy ever, but he's very direct. And I think people have a problem with people approaching a topic direct, not sugarcoating it. Exactly. Because I'm the sugarcoater here. I yap and I will explain to you in the sweetest way why and how, and I lose my point and we wander off in a different conversation during... what the fuck were we even talking about? That's me, right? And that's why people probably think like, yeah, silly monkey doesn't have all the marbles up there. Doesn't get her point across. And I speak faster than I think, which is also a huge problem because I need to translate a lot. Anyways, I think people have a hard time how direct Aspen is. And that's why they are so shocked that they go like, no.
Way that's a little bit, harsh. And, people can say I'm mean. They can say I'm evil. They can say everything.
I understand this type of man, though, because my father was the same. My husband is the same. There are men out there. They are very direct, upfront. Yeah, they don't need to sugarcoat it. They say it once and you know what they mean. They don't need to repeat themselves because they made it clear the first time they said it, and repeating it would be unnecessary.
But they're not saying I'm wrong. And I think that ultimately we should look at a lot of these uncomfortable truths with a lot more of a clear mind, rather than allowing it to be polluted by people that I think want to hurt us, people that want to put us in a position that is not advantageous. And that's the reason why I communicate the way that I do. It is hopefully to normalize this type of language and for people to see things for what they are rather than what they want them to be. And I think that's for better and for worse. That's the reason why I talk the way that I do. I'm not sorry. It's probably not going to stop. I might try to.
And also, he shouldn't be sorry, because this is clearly something that he believes in. He says it because he thinks it's right. It's his opinion. And to say he's sorry for something is lying to yourself.
I'm going to try to obviously tone it down a little bit, because I don't want to get suspended all the time, right? Contrary to popular belief, it's great to have a vacation, but I don't want to have them all the time. That's the way that I feel.
I had a lovely
that's
vacation.
My reasoning for it. I view it as a trolley problem, and I think it enables human trafficking the moment that you capitulate to that type of emotional blackmail.
That's it. Once you apologize to your deterrators, know they have you. And that's it. That's the whole reason I never apologized. Because what for? What should I apologize for? Nothing. I have done nothing wrong. There's no reason. People are easily offended. Oh, yeah. I mean, tact is important, but honestly, it's better if it can save you. The problem is people take critique personally. Oh, yeah. And as they identify instead... Wait, chat, you're moving too fast. I can't read that fast. As their identity instead of addressing the behavior and effect of consequences and choice. Never apologize for what you believe in. Stand on your business or else you lose yourself. Exactly, Styles. Based. Awesome. Apologies for protecting your own people. No, I stand my ground, and that's what my father has taught me too. Once you have your take on things. First of all, you should always think of what you say, which I don't. But you should. You should think of what you say. Unlike me, just keep yapping. But I stand for what I say. I say it fast because that's what I mean. I don't even have to think about what I say because it just comes straight from the heart. I don't have to worry about it. I just let it out. There's no need for me to think about what I have to say. I just say it because that's exactly what I want to say. That's me, the yapper. Then you have people like Hobby, who is more quiet and really reflects, and then he hits you with just a short sentence, and he basically encapsulates everything that I want to say with just a short sentence. I need 20 minutes to explain what it is I want to say and then say it. But he just says it right the first time because he reflected upon it at first, right? So I wish sometimes that I would be more quiet, think, and then once I have all the words, then I say it, rather than stuttering along the way. And it's just like, I bet they got my point at this. I mean, it's been an hour and a half now. They didn't need to understand what I meant, right? Also, that's typical women behavior. Women yap a lot. And that's also why I am a streamer, because I talk so much. I'm not the better streamer, but I love streaming because I just feel so comfortable in talking all the time. It is women behavior to constantly... You must realized, boys, when you hang out with the ladies, they yap all the time. Like, oh my God, yeah, the weather's so sweet. And then we're going to go shopping. And then yesterday I did my hair and then talked to Sarah. And then I did that with, boys, when they hang out, and I hang out with a lot of boys who only hear me talk, the boys are just sitting there just like, yeah, so dude, that was cool, right? And then one might nod. And that's the whole conversation of the fucking evening. I'm just like, dudes, what the fuck? It's just sitting here staring at each other. No one says anything. How is this like even a get-together? But that's the boys. Yeah, it's just the way it is. Turns out they're boring as fuck for people to watch. Wait, what? I've just always been a talker, always. It's because I come from a huge family. I've got 3 older brothers, 1 little sister. My father, he was very strict and loud and direct. And my mama, she's probably a worse yapper than I was, right? Just yap, 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 yap. Yeah, I think mama was a worse yapper than I was. Anyways, there was a lot of yapping going on. And that made it easy for me in my life to approach any person at any time and just talk to them. I wouldn't be afraid. I would never have like stage fright or, that awkward feeling when the teacher tells you, can you read that section out loud? I would just stand up and just screaming out to the class because I have no filter. I'm not embarrassed of embarrassing myself in front of a crowd. Because I can fall down, laugh at myself, and then get back up. That's me. That's why I became a bartender. That's why I always mixed and mingled with a lot of people. And that's the reason I became a streamer when the world shut down and there were no more people. I had to find them somewhere, and I found them on the internet. And I'm glad I did. And I love doing this. Even if some days I'm going like, what the hell are you even doing? But yeah, that's me. What the fuck were we even on about? The message of this video, don't ever apologize for something that you stand for or that you believe in or that, is your take on things. You shouldn't. And other people can't make you. They can't force you into going like, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't worry about this. If I lose it, it's gone. There's no need to cry about it. If I get banned and the channel is taken away, I'll try my best and build it up somewhere else. And yes, I do have other platforms. That's why I stream on Kick, and I upload my stuff on YouTube, and I might try out Rumble. I mean, why not? And there's Facebook Gaming, worst case, I don't want to be intimidated and afraid and worry and constantly tiptoe around things and, oh, what if I say this? And, oh, what if they don't like me for this? And, oh... I mean, it's clear by now that most of the people on the internet don't like me anyway, so... which is also a wonderful feeling in a sense, because... Listen, chat. When a lot of people hate you, at first, it makes you feel uncomfortable. And you go like, why? But then, after a year or so, and they still hate you, and they haven't even explained why they hate you... and you just come to accept that they hate you, that it kind of gives you that feeling. And this is the wonderful part, that I have accepted that people hate me, so now I don't give a fuck if more people start hating me, because what does it matter? It's much easier to accept that, yeah, right, they hate me, so what, rather than... which I see a lot on streamers, particularly when people start hating you, the biggest mistake that streamers make is trying to change the opinion of the haters. They're trying to convince you like, oh, please love me. Oh, please love me. Please adore me. And then just like, makes you desperate. And you know it's not going to work. And no, it's not going to work. And so... you come across very cringe. Yeah.